Geeks and geekettes, welcome to a very special episode of Ask Chuck Dixon. This is a question I get asked so frequently, I thought I'd give it its own little widget, its own little mini episode. I'm calling it Ask Chuck Dixon Extra. And here we go. Enjoy. It answers a question I've had quite a few times. People say, what's your workspace look like? What's your office look like? Give us an inside view. So without further ado, here comes an office tour. It won't be long because my office isn't very big. it's probably the smallest room in the house, but I will do my best to let you take a peek. So this is my workspace. And yeah, this is what it looks like. This is where everything happens. This is where I'm talking to you from now. This is where I write and create all the stories. And yeah, it's messy, it's chaotic, and believe it or not, I tidied up for this video. So you can see around the room, there's a Jack Kirby lithograph I can see from my desk, signed by the King of Comics himself, Rodolfo DiMaggio piece of Orion that he gifted me a number of years ago. Little Bane promotional poster from back in the day. A Butch Guice Blue Beetle splash page, one of the only pages I ever wrote intending to ask Butch for the original. The cover to Invasion 55, #1. My autographed picture of Ronald Reagan, which was gifted to me recently by a friend. My enormous French Rio Bravo poster. My favorite John Wayne Western. And travel around the room a little bit. You can see, you know, I've never grown up. I got toys and tchotchkes everywhere, stuff to look at. There's Osuito, Bane's teddy bear. A Harvey Kurtzman print from a cover of Two-Fisted Tales, Two-Fisted Tales Annual. To be exact, Russ Heath page from Star Spangled War Stories. The cover, the original art to the cover of Detectives Comics Annual #7. And here we come to the first of the books. There's comic book collections, but a lot of reference books here, ready reference books that I can grab. A lot of visual reference stuff from my artists, along with, you know, the usual nonsense I have on my shelves that I put there that amuses me. And, you know, a few science fiction novels, but mostly this shelf is for reference. This is where I pull the stuff to scan. Cover to Airboy. It's a painting by Ernie Cologne, which he gifted me a few years ago. I've spoken about in other videos. Piece by Rodolfo DiMaggio, a test piece for an Indiana Jones movie that was never made. One of the first pieces of artwork ever given to me by my good friend Hilary Barta. It's a Plastic Man and Woozy. I've treasured it. And, you know, just the usual stuff on my door. The famous caricature, impromptu caricature by Sergio Cariello. My Dogs of War poster. My autographed picture of Carlos Hathcock, 93 sniper kills in Vietnam. He ran into a bit of trouble and was trying to raise money for health issues, and I helped him out. A Flint Henry piece depicting he and I if we were in a John Woo movie, and a really terrific splash page from Nightwing by Scott McDaniel that he gifted me, a Rocketeer metal sign, my John Cleese autograph, and, you know, various bits and pieces I've picked up along the way. And that brings us to the wall of books that's at my back when I work. Now the first 4 shelves here, it's all stuff I've written. It's bound volumes that I've had bound myself, as well as collections published by the publishers. And of course, you know, toys and action figures and little soldiers and Funko Pops and all the rest of it. And then there's some reference, and then comic collections, you know, stuff I might want to reach out for. These are my Osprey military reference books. Osprey does a terrific job. This helps my artists out immensely because it provides me with the visual reference they need for almost any historical period you can imagine. Weaponry, arms, uniforms, and the rest. And as you can see, these are the various collections published by publishers all around the world, as well as the hardbound volumes that I got bound, myself, uh, because I wanted to make sure I had at least one copy of everything I'd ever written. It seemed to me the best way to do that is to bind them. More collections of stuff, along with my Man from U.N.C.L.E. figures and Viking figures. These were favorites when I was a kid. These are reproductions, but I had to have them. As you can see, more bound volumes of work I've done over the years. And if you're like me, you're probably freeze framing some of this to see what I have on my shelves. I do that when people appear on television. I want to see what other people are reading. Here's one of the shelves of Bane. I always had one. Now I've got two. These are all the action figures, Legos, hero clicks, gaming figures, what have you, statues, bobbleheads that have appeared of Bane over the years. And it amuses me to be able to see them every day because I still can't believe I had a part in creating something like that. And go down further, all kinds of books. These massive tomes are collections of British war comics. I love that stuff. Can't get enough. And then various collections by artists that I like. There's Toth and Wally Wood, and Steve Ditko and Frank Frazetta, and the classics. So coming back up the wall of books, we go around the room. There's my comic book rack. This used to belong to my youngest son, but he gave it to me when he cleaned up his room, and I had to have it. Oh, a beautiful Detective Comics cover gifted to me by Graham Nolan. One of my favorite Graham Nolan covers. A Punisher War Journal cover by Michael Golden featuring two characters I created, Lynn Michaels and Payback. So he was gracious enough to sell it to me. And a beautiful GCPD cover by Rodolfo DiMaggio, inked by Bill Sienkiewicz. And my Ken Toby autograph. A prized possession. My Dirty Dozen one-sheet poster, my favorite one-sheet movie poster of all time. Tells the whole story of the movie right there on the movie poster. And then a couple of display cases, a couple of IKEA display cases just crammed with geeky goodness. And we'll take a closer look. Don't worry, kids. I'll show you. Just various stuff. You got Batman and Robin, my Catwoman statue by Jack Dennett, Beta Ray Bill. I love that Masters of the Universe Batman. The crew of the Enterprise, a bunch of Simpsons figures, a custom Nightwing figure made for me, a Tad Ryerstad figure made for me by a fan who is a friend. And the various, there's Stars Tarkus and a Bane vinyl statue and a Tony Leung action figure. If you don't know who Tony Leung is, shame on you. A bunch of other odds and ends, hero clicks, and stuff like that. The Ghostbusters and Bender. And there's Stephanie Brown as Batgirl, Asterix and Obelix. A Marx 6-inch figure. I love them, as you can tell from the ones that appeared earlier. Chewbacca, R2-D2 cookie jar, Evil Spock. There's Robbie the Robot. And a Zoid. Anybody know about Zoids? Zoids are cool. I used to build a lot of them many, many years ago, before I had children, oddly. And we move up the stack here. And another Bane statue, Indiana Jones. Little Lulu and Tubby. As you can see, an eclectic mix. Sir Lancelot from Holy Grail. There's the Dude and Walter, Lone Ranger. The Talking Tick Doll, one of my favorite toys I've ever picked up. I actually bought it from Bed Endlin at a convention. Tex figure, Mad Max, George Custer, and Donald Trump shows up. He's everywhere. A Bart Simpson shampoo bottle that I love. Some more Marks 6-inch figures. And we'll move around the room back to my workspace. And really, that's it, baby. That's the office tour. So now you've seen it, the Sanctum Sanctorum, the the tiny little room where I just sit and make stuff up all day. So anyway, that's it. My humble little workspace. I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions about it, please feel free to ask. And I'll see all of you down the road. Thanks.